Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel UPSC CSE Basics. From today, we are starting the theme 1 of part 1 of NCERT of class 12th history. That are the new NCERTs. Guys, the beauty of this new NCERT is the important things are given in boxes plus contextual things are directly asked in mains these days. We will see in upcoming pages that the things are directly framed from these headings. Like it has been asked what urban settlement from of today can learn from Harappan civilization. Things like this are directly asked in UPSC. So it is the most important source. This is new series under of playlist you can watch all the themes of part 1 of history NCERT of class 12. The first theme is bricks, beads and bones. The Harappan civilization. Guys, Harappan civilization. It is the another name of Indus Valley civilization because Harappa is the first city discovered. Before this discovery, the Britishers has always seen us as the barbaric civilization. That is, we don't have any basic knowledge of civic activities, that we are born to be ruled. This was the thinking of Britishers before the discovery in 1900s. But after 1900s, the perception changed completely towards the civilization, as this Indus Valley civilization is contemporary to Mesopotamian or Sumerian civilization. We will see the evidences found at Sumerian civilization of Indus Valley and vice versa. So let's start. This was the brief overview of this chapter. The first paragraph, which is introductory part, talks about the things that are distinctive artifacts of Harappan civilization. Things like steatite seals often contain the motif of animals. This is the animal, this is bull, which was also significatory of agricultural importance. The basic timeline here existed from 2600 BCE to 1900 BCE. That is around 7 to 800 years, or somewhere it is said 1000 years. These timelines vary according to the different books and different interpretations by author and the understanding level. But the basic timeline which is given in NCERT is 2600 BCE to 1900 BCE. Memorize this fact as it is, because when disputed in answer key, the UPSC will consider the NCERT fact. So these facts are important. Yes, coming back to the topic, these are majorly undeciphered. Why undeciphered? Because this script, which is pictographic, which is written from left, from right, that is from this side to left side, it is still undeciphered. Why it is called pictographic? Because pictures here mention the words. Like some historians say like this represent fish, etc. So it is majorly the undeciphered civilization. But there was a great deal of lives of people who lived in this region. That is, they had their own houses, pots, ornaments, tools and seals. These were of great variety. This here is made up of steatite. Guys, what is steatite? Steatite is a material made up of baked, soft stone. It is a soft stone, steatite, which can be easily malleable into forms like these, and seals were made. How archaeological material is interpreted and how these interpretations change over the time, we will see in this chapter. The terms, places and times. The Indus Valley civilization is also called Harappan civilization, as we discussed earlier. And the term culture, why this term is culture called? Because these are usually found, Harappan culture, because these are usually found together at same place. This is the definition which can be used anywhere in interview, in answer writing, etc. So remember this term culture, culture's definition, found together with a specific geographical area in a period of time. In Harappan case, Harappan civilization or Harappan culture case, the seals, bead, weight, stone, blades, and even baked bricks. These are the weights. These are the beads. This is made of lapis lazuli. This is carnelian. These are the blades, sharp blades. These are majorly found together. So it is called as Harappan culture. Now, the basic understanding of Harappan culture is divided into three phases. First is mature Harappan phase. Mature Harappan phase. This is the most important phase and which we will study in detail in this chapter. And this is the later Harappan phase, in which the artifacts variety decreased, uniformity decreased, culture got scattered, that is their geographical area moved towards from west to eastern India till West UP or Ganga plains, etc. And this is pre-Harappan. At this time also, the artifacts were of less variety, their uniformity was not very great like mature Harappan phase, etc. These are the three phases that are majorly talked in detail, but we will see about the mature Harappan phase. Guys, these are the sites of mature Harappan civilization. As you can see, this settlement extend from India to Pakistan to Afghanistan plus some parts of Iran also. It's very small parts. These are the major Harappan cities. The major Harappan cities like Mohenjo-daro, which is located on river Indus, Lothal, which is located on Sabarmati, Rangpur, also located on Sabarmati river. Dholavira is a major city where dockyard and ports were discovered. Pardon my mistake. Where important water reservoirs have been discovered. This is Manda, which is based on Chenab river. These are the important. This is Sutka Gendor, which is a trading port. Shortugai in Afghanistan somewhere is related to trading colony. These are the brief overview of Harappan cities. We will see about them in great detail now. How the beginning of Harappan culture start. Guys, these are related with distinctive pottery, agriculture, pastoralism. Pastoralism means domesticating animals like cow, bull, goat, etc. for milk and daily requirements. This is pastoralism. Agriculture, as we know, these settlements were generally small and there were no large buildings. This was the early phase. But we see that the early and the Harappan had a break between them. This is evident from large scale burning at some times as well as abundant sites at some places. Subsistence strategies. How these Harappan civilization subsistence was carried out. This is a major point which leads to its development. The subsistence is very important for flourishing, and subsistence in many ways like agriculture, trade, surplus, economic activities, etc. Now, if we look at the map 1 and map 2, guys, this was the map 1 which I showed you earlier of Harappan sites, and this is the area of early Harappan occupation, which are located at limited places. These are not very far reached, and these are majorly at Siswal, Dam, Sadat, Fort DG, Amri Nal. These are the 4 Harappan sites which relate to early Harappan stage. Remember these as it is. First is Siswal. Say it with me, because I believe in active learning, and as a part of exercise, it also get reinforced in your mind. Dam Sadat. Fourth is Amrinal. Once again, first is Siswal, second is Kot Diji, third is Dam Sadat, fourth is Amrinal. Yes, we have seen now map 1 and map 2. We will notice that mature Harappan phase was developed in the areas occupied by Harappan. Yes, we have seen this. These are certain common elements. There are certain common elements of subsistence strategies. These have wide range of animals, plants, as we have seen, animals, bull, cow, goat, etc., including fish, as we have seen from seals. The evidence we got from seals. Charred grains and seeds. Guys, remember the first agricultural evidence was found at Mehergarh. And agricultural evidences are also found from ancient plant remains and plowed fields at Kalibangan. We will see in this chapter in later pages that at Kalibangan there were two types of furrows followed, which shows that two crops were done at same time. That is, they followed multiple cropping system, which is even followed today. This is the important adaptations we have got from Harappans, which we can write directly in answer writing. Yes. Now agricultural technologies. First we will see about the some evidences of plants and animals. Plants like millets, chickpeas, sesame, barley, wheat. Plants like wheat, barley, lentils, chickpea means chana in Hindi, sesame, it is used as oil, and at Gujarat we exclusively find the millet evidences. These evidences are so strong that this led to the discovery of seeds at certain places. And there are animal bones also found at Harappa, like cattle, sheep, goat, buffalo, pig, as we have discussed earlier. But it can, and some wild species bone. Wild species bones are also found, like boar, deer, ghadial, etc. But no evidence of lion or tiger. Remember, UPSC can confuse you here. There is no evidence of lion, tiger, etc. found at these places. Plus no evidence of horse, according to NCERT. But some scholars say that there were horse bone found. But UPSC does not consider the fact. We have seen this earlier. So be careful here. The agricultural technologies. There was a prevalence of agriculture as we find from grains. But it is difficult to reconstruct the exact agricultural practices. Exact, by what do you mean by saying of exact? That how they sowed grains, how they did harvesting, were they for trade or self-consumption? These can't be said with clarity. But agricultural technologies like plow was used, as evident from wooden plow of terracotta. Pardon my mistake, it was not wooden, it was terracotta, because wood would have been decomposed by this time. Terracotta plow was used, and it was found at Kalibangan, Banavali, Cholistan. We have found plowed fields, plowed lands, These have been found at Kalibangan, which is an early Harappan site. Here two set of furrows are used, which indicate two crops, as we have discussed earlier. Most agricultural sites, guys, see how we find the evidences of irrigation or approximation of irrigation is done by seeing that the most of the areas are located at arid and semi-arid areas like Gujarat, Rajasthan, etc. These are the semi-arid areas. Even today there is a need of irrigation, so these crops would not have been grown with much intensity without irrigation. So there is a common perception that irrigation would have been present there. Okay, but we have also found some short evidences like canals at Shortubai, which is in Afghanistan. At Dholavira, reservoir is found. This site is in Gujarat. Reservoir, this site is in Afghanistan. Reservoir has been found, but we find no evidence of canals at Sindh or Punjab. Maybe by the time, as the time passes, it had been disappeared due to siltation or due to natural calamities or due to construction activities. This would have been disappeared. So there can be many reasons, but NCERT says that the evidence of canals are not found at Sindh or Punjab. Another evidences found are given by NCERT, as I have told. Guys, these are the tools, copper tools, which were used. Guys, remember, copper was found at IVC. Yes, we find the evidence of copper, but at the same time, bronze, which is an alloy, at IVC is found. Yes, we can say gold, which is also a precious material, is also found. Silver also found, but iron, tell me, was it discovered or not? No, it was not found at IVC. Iron was not discovered at IVC. Basically, iron is a basic characteristic of Vedic or later Vedic era, which is 1000 to 500 years later this. So we will have to take that iron was not found. Remember, UPSC can anytime confuse you at this point. Now, this is the Dholavira reservoir used for agricultural irrigation purpose. We have discussed earlier. Guys, see the masonry work. Masonry means stone work. The huge stones were used for construction of these. This is a saddle quern, which is also used to crush grains, millets, like today's flour mill. This is like today's flour mill, which was used to crush grains, masalas, etc. This was used very extensively, and the one which is found is very much worn. That is, it was used to a great extent. Guys, now this was directly asked by UPSC. A planned urban center. How today's modern world or today's civilization can learn from Indus Valley civilization? This was asked by UPSC in mains. So the points from here can be very helpful in framing the answers because these are authentic points. Okay. So let me tell you the brief discussion about this. The unique feature which was of Harappan civilization, that it was different, or the city of Mohenjo-daro. This specifically talks about the Mohenjo-daro. In to be specific, it was different from other planned cities. Okay, then the first, let me tell you some facts here, that the first site discovered was Harappa. That is all why it is also called as Harappan civilization or Indus Valley civilization. These both terms are interchangeably used. The well-known site for its art, architecture, planning, etc. is Mohenjo-daro. Okay, and the biggest site in India, guys, this is in Pakistan. During partition, it went to Pakistan, but biggest site discovered in India after that was Dholavira, which is in Gujarat. Now, the two sections are divided in planned center. First is citadel, that is Killa or fort in general language. Second is lower town. This was for elites. This is larger and this was smaller as compared to lower town. This is larger and for common people of town. These are the basic differences between them. Some another differences, we will see that this was made up of mud brick platform. Guys, see, these were separated by walled boundaries. There was a wall boundary separating these two. It shows that there existed differences between the people at some point of time. It was on western side. This is, as you can see, is west and this is east. This was on eastern side of settlement. It was bigger, as we have seen. It was that is larger. It has common people. Yes, it was on physically, it was physically separated, and it was made on stone platform. It would have taken millions of labor to mobilize such parts of towns as depicted by NCERT. This means that the mobilization is a key term related to central authority, which also presents to the fact that there existed a central authority giving instructions, like today's center. A central government give instruction to states, etc. Guys, remember the exception can be asked anytime, that citadel or fort at Lothal was not walled but built at great height. They would have thought that it is at height, so we don't need to wall it. So citadel at Lothal is not walled. Okay. Guys, see, before the Harappan civilization was discovered, there were people living in and around the places of Harappa in Pakistan. And in light of ignorance, they would have not realized that they are stealing the things from ancient civilization, which could lighten up their name in the records of history. So they took, the robbers always took the bricks, that is baked bricks, because these have a very long life. So they took the baked bricks to construct their homes, etc. This was observed by Alexander Cunningham, that the amount of bricks was told were so enough that it would have helped construct 100 miles of railway lines between Lahore and Multan. This is the plight of Harappa. This is Harappa was requesting to people to not steal or steal items from its things, its places. That is why the evidences also got washed away. Guys, another famous story is about the Mohenjo-daro, which is the Sindhi term, as it is located in Sindh. It is the language of Sindh. Sindhi is language of Sindh, and people here, Mohenjo-daro means the mound of dead. The people feared this place. Why feared? Because as they remove the bricks, they find the dead people or bones of dead people. So this place become haunted. So this place have been preserved. This place have been preserved to some extent. Okay. Now the drains. This is the basic amenity, or you can say the basic feature of urban civilization, drains, because the city can become clean only by providing the drains. As we see in today's day, the drains are not efficient, and in rain it becomes very tedious for the civic authorities to control, but this was controlled very efficiently by the people of Harappa or Mohenjo-daro or IVC. This was the most distinctive feature. Guys, see, this is the drain. There people are standing here. This was used as inspection holes to see if any siltation or any animal or anything which can obstruct the drain can be removed from here. These were basically done in grids pattern. Grid means here like these. And the basic thing that the drains were made before city was made. Guys, today we see the problem of sprawled urbanization. Here people are basically extending to illegal colonies due to the lack of basic amenities. So it become very tedious or very difficult for civic authorities to construct the drains after people settle there. But the Harappan cities were made after planning the drainage system, and this shows the maturity of Indus Valley civilization or Harappa. There was a wall along a street, and their privacy sense was so high that the houses near walls or houses near roads, these are roads, don't have window, and these have opening on these sides. Okay, these are the civic senses that they have, and these drains were also at right angles. That is the grid pattern. Now, domestic architecture. Guys, now seeing the domestic architecture, this was the major highlight of Harappan civilization or Indus Valley civilization. The basic details are like this. The many residential buildings were centered on courtyard. That is, this was the courtyard, and the residential buildings were built along it. And this courtyard was a common place for cooking plus weaving, etc. That is, important activities of community took place here. The main entrance was not given the direct view of interior of the courtyard. The people here can't see courtyard directly because the main entrance was not given the direct view. This was the privacy feature of Indus Valley civilization. Every house had washrooms or private bathrooms plus their own drains, which were cleaned regularly and drains were covered with limestone plus brick plus mortar to make them not seep into soil, etc., and not mix with another water parts. So these were made watertight drains. Guys, we have seen that the drain were found at each and every city. There was no exception for drains. Guys, now this page number 8 shows about the brief plan of citadel. Guys, this is the main plan of citadel. Basically, the citadel, which was whose lower portion, basically the citadel was upper part of city or Indus Valley civilization cities, whose lower part, citadel's lower part, was made up of bricks, while upper part was made up of wood. This would have decomposed by time, so we find less evidences of these wooden elements, but some great features of Mohenjo-daro citadel are shown here, like the great bath, which was rectangular in shape. The great bath details are like this, that it was rectangular in shape. It had room on three sides, here, here, and here, and one side was open to keep it filling from water from well nearby. These were made up of mortar of gypsum, which made it watertight, and north and south led to stairs. The stairs were also, and changing rooms were also there, so they kept the privacy in mind. This sums up the three parts. For next part from tracking social differences, see the part 2 of this video. Thank you.